good evening, everybody, and a big welcome to all of you in today's SBL webinar for March 2023 attempt. This is day number 2. My name is Hasan Dossani, and let me share my screen. Okay, so let's start. So yesterday we had day number 1, and the main things we covered in day number 1 was a little bit of introduction about the SBL, why students they fail SBL, the most common errors, all the formats we went through, all the professional skills we went through, and then we did a very interesting question. So today, we did introduction yesterday, we did professional skills yesterday, we did formats yesterday. Today we will be covering the exam techniques. I will start with the exam techniques. We will talk about the relevant technical articles tonight. We will do one more question tonight. Then I will share the list of important topics which you need to master perfectly. And then I will also share the study plan for last 3 weeks, especially for self-study students. Right? How to ask questions? You will ask your questions by typing your question in the chat box, but please make sure that your question relates to the slide or the topic under discussion. I will not be able to answer question if it is not related to the topic under discussion. I will be happy to take questions towards the end, any kind of questions. Okay. For those of you who are joining tonight for the first time, this is my WhatsApp number. Please save it so that you can stay in touch with me. And those of you who are not part of my global WhatsApp group, then you can message this number and you will be sent the link. In fact, let me share the link right now in the chat box. I have just sent the link on the chat box. If you are already a member, then no need to join multiple groups. But if you are not a member, please join the WhatsApp group. Right. So are you guys now ready for something extremely important? The exam techniques. So SBL is all about techniques. Okay. And you must have realized it yesterday as well when we did our question practice. It's all about techniques, linking techniques, drafting techniques, professional skill techniques, time management techniques. So the exam techniques which I'm going to discuss basically will be the difference between your pass and your fail. Many students who score between 45 to 49, most of them have messed up during the 4 hours under exam techniques. So extremely, extremely important. So please listen very, very carefully. First thing first, what to do when you open the paper. When you will open the paper, wait, I think I sent a wrong link. Sorry, guys. Let me do the right link. That's my Google Drive actually, which I sent. Wait, sorry. I'll just paste the right link here. When you open the paper, the first thing we will do is we will copy paste all technical requirements on our Word tool in the CBE platform. I repeat, when the moment we open the paper, the first thing we will do is copy paste all technical requirements on your word tool in the CBE platform. So the word, you don't have to paste the entire requirements, just the technical requirement, the two-liner bold one. Why do we do that? So let me open my CBE platform. So for example, this is your question. So if you look here, the tasks are all given separately as separate exhibits. So it's not possible for us to remember all the tasks, right? So when we bring all the tasks on one page of our answer sheet, then we can go through it again and again. While reading the exhibits, I can quickly go back and see something relevant is there or not. So it's really, really helpful when you bring all the tasks under one spreadsheet. So let me show you how. So I will open up my word processor. Okay, there's a technique. I will reduce the screen size. I will take it to one corner. And then here, I will open the tasks. This is task number 1. I will copy this thing and I will paste it here. Done. Just the bold technical requirement. This is task number 1. Okay, then after a few lines, I will go to task number 2. I will copy this sentence. I will paste here task number 2. Done. And then I will open the third exhibit. I will task number 3A. Done. And then there is, I think, 3B as well, this one. 3B pasted. I will mention them. 3A, 3B, task number 4. If you do it 2 or 3 times, your speed will become as fast as I am. All you need to do is copy, paste, and then task number 5 is it will take you maximum 60 seconds to copy paste. So now you don't have to open the, while reading the exhibits, you don't have to open the respective thing. All the requirements are now on one page. You see, so I can quickly read, prepare a report for the board which evaluates the key external drivers of change. Key external drivers of change is the topic, or I can bold it. Prepare a report for the chief executive which advises on the role of integrated reporting and its value. And its value, I can bold the keyword. Draft a memo for the chief executive to do which advises on the strategic importance of sound cost management and control. You see, so then everything is in front of my eyes. So when I'm reading the exhibit, I can copy paste, I can go through the list of requirements again and again. So it's really helpful. Okay, so that's the first thing you do. You copy paste all the technical requirements on your word tool. Then you have to go through the list of exhibits and try to identify 1:many exhibits and 1:1 exhibits. So basically, there are 2 types of exhibit. Some of the exhibits are called 1:many, and some of the exhibits are called 1:1. Can you guess what is the meaning of 1:many? Let's see. No, Basil, no. Can you guess what is the meaning of 1:many? Very good, Basit. Good, Saad. No. It's very simple. A 1:many exhibit means that it contains information relating to several requirements. I repeat, it pertains to many requirements or tasks. That is why it is called 1:many. So you can use that exhibit for multiple questions. And what about 1:1 exhibit? Straightforward, right? 1:1 exhibit are very specific exhibits. They can only be used in one particular question. So they will be short. They will be to the point. So it can only be used in one question, whereas 1:many exhibits are expected to be used in multiple questions. So we will have to judge which exhibit is 1:1 and which exhibit is 1:many. Okay, and there are certain hints and techniques how you can assess which one is 1:1 and which one is 1:many. So for example, a 1:many exhibit will be larger in size, or 1:1 exhibit will be larger in size. Which one will be bigger? Correct, right? Because 1:many will contain a little bit more information because it is supposed to cater for multiple questions. So generally, one rule of thumb is that 1:many exhibits are larger. Most of the time, they are full one complete page or even more than a page. Okay, they are either full page or more than a page. And on the contrast, the 1:1 exhibits are shorter. They are half page or 70% of the page. Okay, so from the size you can judge. Also, there are some 1:many. So exhibits like board minutes or board meetings or meeting transcripts, annual report, website. So generally these are those exhibits which contains a variety of information which can be utilized in multiple questions. Remember these, board minutes or meeting discussions or transcripts, annual report, website. Typically 90% of the time they are 1:many. And 1:1 exhibit would be some financial statement or a financial projection, any newspaper article, and specific topics. So from the heading, you can make out that, okay, this is something very specific. Okay, so let's see this question which I have opened. So overview, we all have to read the overview, whether it's 1:1 or 1:many. No discussion on that. So the second, it says extract from the website. Website, you should expect what? 1:many. I showed just now that board meetings, meeting transcripts, annual report, websites. Let's have a look at it. Although it is only one page, so I don't know. So we'll take it as 1:many. Okay. Annual report. What do you think? Annual report. 1:many. You see it's 2 pages here. Can you see the number of pages? So definitely annual report is 1:many because it is lengthy and I can use this information in various requirements. Morila's economic outlook report. Now, this is a very specific heading. It will tell us about the economic outlook of the country, right? I have a feeling it's 1:1 because the heading is very specific, economic outlook. Let me look at the size. Oh my God, it's almost full page, but I would think it is 1:1. Okay. Cost management and control activities. Cost, again, a very specific heading. It will tell us about cost management and control activities only. And the size is almost a page, but it is 1:1. Senior management meeting extract. Senior management meeting extract. Meeting, board meeting, meeting minutes, meeting extracts, meeting transcripts. One is too many. Okay, done. Report on, risk management proposal. As the name says, I think it's very specific. 1:1. It will just talk about risk management proposal. It is less than a page. All right, no issues. 1:1. Report on poor customer service. So again, it's a report on talking about poor customer service. 1:1. So I think website was 1:2 many. Annual report is 1:2 many. And meeting extract is 1:2 many. So out of 8 exhibits, 3 exhibits are 1:2 many and 5 exhibits are 1:1. Got it? Once you do more practice, you will understand this. However, if you are not able to decide if it is 1:1 or 1:2 many, you have certain doubts, then you assume that it is 1:2 many. Okay? Then you assume it's 1:2 many, not a problem. Any questions? Now, so once we identify, once we have identified 1:1 and 1:2 many, then you will read 1:2 many exhibit first and start your answer. Where you do not waste your time on 1:1 exhibit. Do not read them in the first reading time. Just make sure you have gone through the 1:2 many exhibits. Once you are reading the 1:2 many exhibit, copy paste relevant sentences from the exhibits under respective question number on your answer sheet and start drafting. Am I clear? So the moment you read the 3, so for example, in this scenario, there were 3. So you will read the overview, obviously. You need to read the overview and then followed by the 3 1:2 many exhibits. And then you should move towards your drafting. When do we read the 1:1? We will read 1:1 exhibit when you attempt that particular question. So when I come to risk management proposal question, at that time, I will read that exhibit. When I come to customer service question, at that time, I will read the poor customer service exhibit. Okay. Is that clear?
Sir, could you explain that point for once more?
Sorry, speak loudly, please.
Sir, could you explain that point for once more?
The point for?
Once more. Could you explain that point?
Come on, yaar. Okay. So first you will read all the 1:2 many exhibit. Okay. And then you start your drafting. Do not read the 1:1 exhibit. Is that clear? When do you read 1:1 exhibit? When you actually come to that particular question, at that time you open the relevant exhibit, link it and draft it. All right. And the last thing is, before you start answering any question, prepare the skeleton of the answer before you attempt the answer, like the format, opening sentence, main headings, closure, like we did yesterday. You remember that when we started the question, we prepared the format, gave some main headings, and then we started copy pasting and reading. All right. So you don't do it for all questions together. Whenever you start a question At that point, you just make the format, headings, and then start reading the exhibit and copy pasting. Okay, okay. Good. This is a very important slide, huh? You have to really understand this. Now, time management. Majority of the students, they fail the paper because of bad time management. What happens is that if you don't plan your time properly, towards the end, you will not be able to complete the paper. You might miss out 10 marks, 15 marks, even 20 marks. So you will effectively be attempting 80 marks or 85 marks. So it's really challenging to pass, to score 50, 55 marks when you just attempt 80 marks, right? So any idea why students end up with bad time management during the paper? What's the reason for bad time management? What could have gone wrong? Overwriting, over-reading, writing too much, yeah. Few people are saying time trap questions. Very good. Okay, time trap is a very important word, huh? Remember that. I will come to it. So the paper is for 4 hours. And the examiner suggests that you spend the first 60 minutes on reading and planning. And then the next 3 hours you spend on drafting. That's the ideal scenario. So this is the first rule. Stop reading as soon as 60 minutes are up and start drafting. Obviously, when we are planning that we will read everything within 60 minutes, then you have to stop in case you have not completed your reading. However, in our case, as I discussed in the previous slide, we will not be reading all the exhibits, right? Am I right? We will not be reading all the exhibits. We will just be reading the overview, and we will just be reading the few 1:many exhibits, and then we will start drafting. So then you don't need to spend the entire 60 minutes. So if you are already reading 1:many exhibit first, then I guess 30 to 40 minutes max is enough. So you should be able to start your drafting within 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how many 1:many exhibits are there. Is this clear? I want to be, make sure that every stage, every step, you are all clear. So we will not be utilizing the full 60 minutes because we are just doing selective reading. We are just reading 1:many exhibits. We are ignoring the 1:1. So then your reading time should be 30 minutes, right? Okay, allowed drafting time is basically 1.8 minutes per total marks. This is very important, that your planning should be according to 1.8 minutes per total marks, not technical marks, but total marks. What is total marks? The total marks is technical marks plus professional marks. So for example, let me go to my CVE platform and open task number 1. So it says 14 is technical, 4 is professional. Total is 18. So how many minutes would you allow for this question? So I'll just fuck, man, who's this? Sorry, guys. 18 multiplied by 1.8, you have 32 minutes, 32/33 minutes to wrap up this question. Okay. So now my question is, What if 32 minutes are up and still your answer is not finished? What will you do? If 32 minutes are up and still your answer is unfinished, what you will do? Very good. A lot of students are saying that we will move on, we will leave and move on. Yes, that's the right strategy. However, it is easier said than done. All of you are saying we will move on to the next question. But in the real exam, you will stress out. You don't want to leave the question incomplete. Especially it's the first question. You want to impress the bloody examiner, and you will keep on writing, and then you overrun by 10-15 minutes. Think from an exam point of view. That's what happens to most of the students. That's where they fuck up in the exam techniques. And you should not do this mistake. Okay? It is difficult to leave and move on. It is, I agree. But please fuck it and move on. All right? Train yourself on this. If you feel that you just need 1 or 2 minutes to complete it, then I can understand. Okay, then you spend, instead of 32 minutes, you think that 35 minutes you are able to wrap up, then it's okay. But if you feel that you need 5-10 more minutes, forget about it. Stop, leave some space, move on. Is that clear? This is all the things which you need to do in the exam hall. Do not mess with this under stressful conditions. Stick to it. Okay? All right. And this is what I said. Stop drafting and move to the next question as soon as the time is. So some students, they ask, sir, how do we keep track of the time? Any idea? How do you keep? Because, I know that, okay, I calculated 32 minutes. But then when I'm busy writing, busy thinking, I might lose track of the time. Very good. We write the time. Where do we write the time? Where do we write the time? Where? In the word tool. Yes. On the word processor. What will you write? 32 minutes or the actual time? Don't forget about the start time. You will just okay, so let's say we'll do it right now. So I'll go to my word tool. Okay. I am doing question number 1. Okay, let's say I'm attempting question number 1. It is 18 marks. I just calculated that I need to finish by in 32 minutes. So my start time right now is 8:35. So add 30 minutes to 8:35, 8:05, so 8:07 p.m. ending time. You understand that you write the expected ending time by looking at your watch, add the 32 minutes and write the ending time, and then you start drafting. You start drafting, you start drafting, you start drafting, you start drafting. This time will be always in front of you. The moment you watch and it says 8:07, leave it, moves to the next question. You write the ending time there, like if it is 8:08, you add the number of minutes to it, write the next time, ending time, and then you start drafting. Clear? Very good. So as I would repeat again that majority of the students, they fail SBL because of time management. They are not able to complete the paper. Not all of you, but majority of you. So there is a very important word called time trap. What is a time trap question? A time trap question is a question which is very lengthy and the marks are very less. So obviously, when the marks are less, the allowed time is less. So you will never be able to finish that question within the allowed time. So it's called the time trap question. Normally, the first question, normally, not all the time, but 70–80% of the time, question number 1 is a time trap question. Most students, they overrun their time in question number 1. Because it's the first question, you are panicked, you want to do it very nicely, and you just lose sight of the time. Do not fall in the time trap. That's the whole message of this slide. The moment the time is up, leave it, leave 4 or 5 lines and move to the next questions. Okay. All right. How many of you who have given SBL previously have fallen in time trap? Please write me. How many of you have fallen in a time trap? Knowingly or unknowingly, please type me. Humayun, please type me. Straight question, straight answer. You see, there are so many students who had experienced time trap. So please, the first timers, learn from their mistakes. They were unfortunate, but please, you will be more unfortunate if you don't learn from them. Guys, so all of you, do not fall in time trap. You see, most people are stuck at 49. 49 may not necessarily be due to time trap. It could be something else. All right, let's move on. Another thing, number of points. How much should we write? How much points should we mention? Obviously, it depends on the marks. So my rule is 2 marks per point. The rule of thumb followed is 2 marks for a well-drafted point. And we will use total marks. So you will pick up total marks, divide by 2. Total marks, not the technical marks, no. The total marks divided by 2 will tell you the number of points. Okay. So for example, if I go back, question number 1, how many points are required? 14 plus 4, 18, 18 divided by 2, 9. How many points are required for question number 1? 9 points. All right. So basically, from a presentation point of view, 1 point should be 1 para. So I would either expect 9 subheadings. I prefer giving subheadings. I like giving headings to each point because it makes the life of the examiner easier and it looks more professional. That all point you are giving a subheadings. So I would either expect 9 subheadings clearly, or if you don't want to give subheadings, then I would like to see 9 well-drafted paragraphs. So 1 paragraph will denote 1 point. Is that clear? Somebody has raised a hand. Somebody wanted to ask question. Who was that? Okay. Now there are a couple of exceptions. You remember yesterday's formats, when we were discussing the formats, I had said that there's a one type of question in which identify the weakness and give a recommendation. Remember, we need a tabular format for it. So if you are supposed to identify weakness and give recommendation, these will be considered as 2 points, not 1 point. Is that clear? When the question says identify the weakness and give recommendation, so identifying the weakness, talking about its consequences is 1 point worth 2 marks. And then when you give a recommendation to solve that problem, that will be considered as another point worth 2 marks. So total 4 marks. So if you identify one weakness and you give one recommendation for it, so collectively they are worth 4 marks. Okay. Now, supposing there is a question which says, identify the control weaknesses and give recommendations, and the total marks is 16. How many weaknesses are you supposed to talk about? 4, exactly. You have to identify 4 weaknesses, and for the 4 weaknesses, you have to give 4 recommendations. So total 8 points will be there. You see, so you will divide by 4. If the question says identify weakness and recommend solutions, so you will divide total marks by 4 instead of 2, because you're supposed to deliver 2 things: identify the weakness and then give its recommendation. Clear? One paragraph should be like 2 or 3 sentences, 2 or 3 lines, not more than that. All right. Similarly, very exactly same, when the question says identify the risks and give recommendation, again we will follow the same thing. So whenever there's a recommendation, there's extra 2 marks. And lastly, in a finance related question, give 1 extra point. So sometimes, there's a financial question: analyze the financial statement or analyze the financial projection. So is finance your strong area? Are you a finance student? I assume that finance is supposed to be your strong area, right? So in a financial question, try to give 1 extra point so that you can, score a little bit higher. For example, if it's a 10 marks question, a financial question worth 10 marks, how many points would you give? 6. Perfect. So ideally 5 for non-financial, because we divide by 2. But because it's a financial question, we will divide by 2. It's 5, and then we will add 1. Okay. I'm going back a bit. Ayaz is asking, sir, what about weakness, impact, and recommendation? It's the same thing. When we talk about weakness, by default, you have to talk about the consequence or impact. So weakness and impact is together. I used the word consequence when I was talking about it a few minutes back. So when we identify the weakness, we have to talk about its consequence, its impact. Okay. So weakness and impact is considered as 1 point. Clear? All right. Format of your answer. How do you write? How do you present? So I don't like bullet points. It's a bit unprofessional. It's a bit casual. Maybe some exceptional situation, it's okay. But by and large, bullet points in a report or presented, or letter doesn't look good. So I want you to adopt a paragraph style of writing. So 1 point, 1 paragraph. Ideally, I would like to give subheadings for each point, but it's all paragraph style. Please, this one is important. Leave 1 line between each para. Did you understand this? Leave one line between each para. Why do I say that? Any idea? Why am I requesting you to leave one line between each para? So that it becomes easier for the examiner to see the distinct paragraphs. It's the line separates the two paragraphs. It's more clarity. It's more neat and clean, more organized, right? How do you leave one line? How do you leave one line? Any idea? Very good. Just press enter 2 times. Just press the bloody enter button 2 times, because if you press it 1 time, it will go on the next line. But then if you press 2 times, it will leave one line and go next to next. It's not, these students are laughing, but I know you buggers, idiots, don't even know how to leave 2 lines, right? Press enter 2 times. Good. Try to give nice formats, the format like bolds and all those things. While reading the exhibits, looks for stress words. What are stress words? Words like very, significantly, extremely, notably, these, extremely, extreme competition, significant pressure. These are stress words. This shows that that thing is really significant. It's big. It's material. So always try to use the information in your answer if it's got some stress words. Okay, they are material issues then. You understand materiality, material? Use tabular format for weakness and recommendations. Yes, we discussed that yesterday. And use of models is not mandatory. Please, please, again, I request, few of you are in love with models. I don't mean the female models, but the stupid SBL models. So please do not try to forcefully or unnecessarily use models in SBL, okay? Look, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Now, bouncer question. Do you know what is a bouncer question? Which goes over your head. You have no jack shit idea what the fuck is that. Every SBL attempt, there is one bouncer question. You will miss a heartbeat when you will look at it. You will say, what the fuck is this? Either you don't know that topic, or you don't understand the requirement, or there is no information in the exhibit. Whatever the reason, it's a bouncer thing. You don't know jack shit about it. Every paper will have that question. Is that clear? How many have you have faced or experienced a bouncer question in SBL? Please write me. That you had no idea what the hell is this. Either there was no information in the exhibit, or you did not know anything. No, Sama, incorrect. So, bouncer question is expected. So do not panic. And Akshi is absolutely right. A bouncer question may also be a time trap question. What do you think? A bouncer question may be a time trap as well. Right. And the examiner deliberately puts a bouncer question. Why? Because he wants to see whether you panic, whether you are controlled and composed, Because a good CFO should not panic, right? He should know how to get out of a situation. So it is there to test your nerves, your planning, your smartness, how you handle it. But most idiot students, they actually spend more time on the bouncer question just to save it, and they fuck up their time management. Is it a good strategy to spend more time on bouncer question and save it? What do you think? Is it a good strategy to spend time on bouncer strategy, or more time than allowed on bouncer strategy, trying to save it? No, it's a suicide strategy. If you waste your time on a bouncer question, it's suicidal. Then might as well go out and jump from the building. So what do we do? Okay, so will you be able to identify a bouncer question? Some students ask me, sir, how can I identify a bouncer question? It's bloody simple. You will know, you will actually don't know what to do. Right? You will have no clue what to do. Khalas. So for any question, when you don't know, you don't understand what to do, it's a bouncer for you. As simple as that. All right. Okay, so what to do when we face a bouncer question? The first thing, leave some lines and skip this question and move to the next question. Khalas, that's the first point. Do not waste a single minute on the bouncer question. Leave it. We will do it in the end. Got it? That's the first thing. Do not spend even 2 minutes on it. Leave it, leave like 2, 3, 4 lines and move on and push it to the end. Attempt this question in the last, and when you will be left with 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatsoever, then you can play around with this question. When you have completed all the other questions and yet you still have 10, 15 minutes, then yes, at that time you can flirt with this question. What you can do, you can define a little bit. So for example, if it's a question on big data, you might define big data, the 3 V's. Mute, my friend, mute. Or if it's a question on disruptive technology, you can talk a little bit what is disruptive technology, just to fill some space, okay? This one is very important, the next point. Use the search find option in the CBE platform using keywords. So do you know there is a search option on your CBE platform? So for each exhibit, there is a search option. So you can actually go to each exhibit and search for some keywords. For example, let's say I open up this exhibit. Okay. And I want to look for the word competition. I will press this magnifying glass and I will write COMP. There are 2 words here. Can you see? It immediately showed me that there are 2 words. One is here, it says competition amongst builders, and one will be highlighted down somewhere. Can't see it. Okay, or I could do this. So the one word, yeah, competition. If I want to look for the word economy, there are 2 words. One is economy grew by 1.2%, and there is, I don't know why it's showing 2, but the point is you can use the magnifying glass function for each exhibit. And if it's a question on disruptive technology, Look for words disruptive, and you might find out something which you are. Control F also works. Yeah. Okay, Jacob is asking, what if the first question is a bouncer question? Normally it's not. Okay. The first question normally is never a bouncer question, but it is a time trap question. All right. But if it is a bouncer, then leave it and then come back and attempt it later. Do not leave it completely. Okay. All right. So we've done the bouncer question. Guys, so I'm done with the exam techniques. Any questions on the exam techniques? Lakshmi is asking, do we have to answer the requirements in sequential order? Yes, please. Try to follow the sequential order. With the exception of a bouncer question, you will skip that. Is a normal watch allowed in the center? I don't know. Someone else can answer that. Akshi is asking, Akshi, don't type direct message to me. Nobody else is able to read it. Please select everyone and then type your message. Some people will answer to you. Okay. So since we are very clear on the exam techniques, let's move to technical articles. So these are the 4 technical articles which have been published in the last 6 to 8 months. Okay. Only the recent articles are important. Old articles are not important. Okay. So these are the 4 articles which have been published in the last 8 months. All the previous articles, they are old now, so ignore them. They have already been tested in the exams, but these are the 4 ones. So it's application of new technology. It was published in October, just before the December attempt. Application of new technology part 2. They are the same, basically same subject. Then there was environmental and sustainability issues and responsible leadership. So some of the students were telling me that responsible leadership was recently tested. Am I right? Responsible leadership was tested in December. So then if it's tested, then it's no more required. Okay, then you can ignore it. What about environmental and sustainability issues? Was it tested in December? Anyone can recall? Yeah, I think also that, I remember something that environmental and the sustainability, no, qualities of a leader is something different. All right. So let's focus on these 3 articles for March attempt. All right. So it is basically applications of new technology, part 1, applications of new technology, part 2, and environmental and sustainability issues. Okay. So 3 articles as of now, which you need to familiarize yourself. And maybe there is a chance that they might publish a new article between now and the exam date, because we still have like 5 weeks, right? 4 to 5 weeks. So if in case the new article is published, if anyone finds out, do let me know and I will cover it under the grand revision. All right. So applications of new technology part 1 and part 2, they are both very similar. So it's basically talks about the new technology in our homes. What are the new technologies which are now being used in homes? Smart technology. So they gave some examples of smart technologies which are used in home, like you can control your lighting like through your cell phone. You can control the AC or the heaters. You can have security systems through smart apps and stuff like Amazon's Alexa and Apple Siri. These are all gadgets and apps and technology which are used in homes, especially in the Western side, right? What are the advantages of this? Well, remote access, that if I'm in office and I'm going home, I want to put on my air conditioner before I reach home, I can just through my smartphone, through the app, I can switch on my AC. It can lead to energy and cost savings because, there are intelligent lighting systems, intelligent heat control, temperature control system. They automatically adjust, so it leads to more efficiencies and it is convenient, obviously. What could be the disadvantages of this? It's relatively expensive than non-smart appliances. Yeah, of course. So if you want to buy a smart refrigerator, it's expensive. There's a dependency on internet. Everything is dependent on internet. So if your internet is not working, you will not be able to perform these things. There could be privacy issues because all these things are listening to you. They know your pattern and what you talk about, especially Siri and Alexa. They exactly know what you are up to. Data security issues and hacking. So just to give you an idea, this was the type of the article in which they talked about the latest modern smart apps, where they are used, what are the examples, what are the advantages and disadvantages. So I've covered this in full detail in my December webinar, day 2. So I don't want to waste our precious time tonight. I want to do more practice. So you can watch the December webinar for more details. Similarly, the article spoke about technology used in travel industry, like online ticketing, online checking, real-time updates of flight status. Then the article also talked about technology used in retail sector. For example, self-checkout, checkout free shopping like Amazon Go, chatbots, advantage, disadvantage. It talked about technology in the banking sector, like online banking, mobile banking, advantages, disadvantages. So you can go through the December webinar day number 2, and I've spent like 15-20 minutes on this article. Now, environmental and sustainability issues. Again, I will give you a concept so that you understand these things. So the approach to business is changing now. So if you go back 10 years, all businesses were just focusing on making profits. Halas. We are there to make profits. Forget about social environment, forget about social contribution or environmental aspects. I don't give a shit about that. I just want to make money for my shareholders. That was the mindset 10 years back. Only money, money, money. You are screwing the environment, you are screwing the employees or society. Doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. I'm there to make money. That was the old mindset, correct? But now in the recent years, the mindset is changing. The concept of responsible organization has come in. Responsible leadership or responsible organization. So what is a responsible organization? Who is a responsible organization? A responsible organization is a one who also cares about the social aspects like employees, customers, society, and they also care about the environmental footprint like pollution and emission and all those things. They just don't talk only about money. They also are concerned and careful about the social footprint of their organization, the social impact of the organization, and the environmental impact of the organization. So now a responsible organization looks at three things: profits, social impact, environmental impact. There are more responsible citizens. And of course, responsible leader or responsible leadership, same mindset that you are responsible, you are mindful of other factors as well, other than the shareholders, right? You just don't focus only on the shareholders. You also take into consideration other stakeholders as well. Do not cause them damage or losses. So when we talk about social contribution, social includes three things. We have to take care of our employees, like their pay scales, their working conditions, their health and safety, training, diversity, all those things. We have to be a good employer, a caring, responsible employer. Also, we have to take care of our customers and suppliers. Like, we should not give them wrong quality. We should be honest, integrity. Whatever we say should be correct, data privacy, respect them. We also should care about the society, like doing CSR activities, charitable contribution, creating job opportunities, supporting local industry, trying to buy maximum material, local raw material from local industry in order to support the economy. Understood? So you just need to remember that whenever the question talks about social footprint, social aspect, social contribution, you need to talk about these three things: employees, customers and suppliers, and society at large. All right. Again, similarly, when we talk about environmental footprint, we talk about these three things: use of natural resources. Oh, what happened? Wait. Use or responsibly using of limited natural resources. For example, if we are using a lot of paper, you know that paper comes from cutting of trees, and cutting of trees is not good. It's not good for the environment. So I would like to reduce my usage of paper, more digitalization, electronic. You see, ACCA has stopped printing the student accountant magazine. 7 years back, they were printing thousands and thousands of physical magazines, but then they realized that, it's not a good environmental practice. So they have moved to paperless environment. The CBE itself is a paperless thing, right? Previously, when the papers were manual, too much papers and trees. So you see, we have to responsibly see that, we don't waste the natural resources. How do we handle our waste products? Recycling, disposal, all those aspects. Also pollution like carbon emission, etc. So these are environmental aspects which you need to consider. Okay, so you get an idea what is environmental and sustainability issues, that we as a responsible organization should also be considerate of the social contribution or impact we are doing and the environmental impacts we are causing, and we should be a responsible citizen, and we should try not to damage just in order to maximize profits for the shareholders. Understood the concept? Good. So you can watch the article for December. Now, this one is very important. Common sense question. So my paid batch students, you know this, right? That every attempt, there is a common sense question worth more than 30 marks. It's not one question, but it's actually a couple of questions. So always the aggregate marks for such question is more than 30. So tell me, if 30 marks is common sense question and 20 marks is professional skills. So 50 marks out of 100 is just common sense and professional skills. Even if you have not studied a single topic, you will still be able to, handle 50% of the paper. Understood? So what is a common sense question? A common sense question is a question which does not pertain to any chapter or does not pertain to any topic. Whatever you have read in the book, bullshit. It's not going to be useful. It's a common sense question, and you have to rely on the information from the exhibits and then frame your answer using your common sense. So in my paid batch, we have done like 3 common sense questions, right? Am I right, guys? Please, okay, guys, please, can you close your videos? Please, can you close your videos? Can you close your videos, please? Yeah. Okay, good. So common sense question really requires the examiner wants to test whether you are a bookish student or a practically intelligent student. Because a CFO needs to be street smart. A CFO cannot be bookish, right? Because in real life situations, the CFO has to be smart. He should be able to think. So that's the whole purpose of mentioning common sense question in the paper, so that the examiner can assess that are you a theoretical student or you understand the case study. So it is of course the question is linked with the case study. All the information is there in the exhibit, but you just need to shape up your thoughts and shape up your answer to handle this. It requires practice. Okay. So right now, let's do one question today. I have deliberately selected a PowerPoint slide, a presentation slide question, as some of you requested yesterday, so that you can see how we, manage or handle a presentation slide. So please, can you open SBL September-December 2022 paper called QH? Please open it on your platform, September-December 2022 QH. Done? Please type done once you are done. Once you have opened up this paper, please type done. Ten more seconds. All right, so this is the paper. It's mentioned on the top, SBL September, December 2022, right? Let's start. We will be doing task number 4A. So please open up task number 4A. 4A. Please, can you read from here till here? Time starts now. Okay, so I think it's pretty straightforward. The background says that the CFO has made a proposal to improve the risk management framework. So the proposal is to improve their risk management framework. And the technical requirement is explain the benefits and challenges of separating the current audit and risk committee into two separate committees. Interesting. So right now they have a combined committee. They have an audit and risk committee combined. And now the CFO is proposing to have two separate committees. One should be audit committee specifically, and one should be risk committee specifically. Why? Because he wants to improve the risk management framework. And professional skills marks are available for communication skill. So communication skill is your format, your tone of the answer, who you are writing to. You should be able to clearly communicate your thoughts. And do you read this guidance? It's very important to read the guidance. Communication skills in persuasively and objectively informing the board members of the proposed changes to the committees. So, when you talk about the benefits and the challenges, you have to be, convincing and to the point, and then do an objectively share your thoughts. Clear? So obviously, when we will talk about benefits, we will clearly draft our points, right? So nothing extra needs to be done. So is the requirement clear? So first of all, tell me how many points are required. How many points? Who is saying 4? Lakshmi, what's wrong with you, my dear? 10 divided by 2, 5. Lakshmi, you need to learn fast, okay? Lakshmi, yeah. All right, so we need 5 points. So we have to talk about benefits and challenges. So can I do 2.5 benefits and 2.5 challenges? No, not possible. 2.5 benefits, 2.5 challenges. What? So what do we do? Depends on the proposal. I would imagine 3 benefits, 2 challenges, or 4 benefits, 1 challenges. Okay. Maybe, yeah, it says persuasive. So yes, good point, Lakshmi, that it says persuasive. That means that we want to persuade or convince the board to separate. So we will focus more on the benefits. Yeah, I agree. More positives. Yeah. So, but we will read and we will find out. So now we know we need 2 presentation slides. One will be the benefit and one will be the challenge. Is that clear? We can have 2 slides. One will talk about benefits, one will talk about challenges. So please make the skeleton. Prepare your skeleton, open up your slide. What should be the heading of the first slide? Please suggest the heading of the first slide. What should be the headings of the first? Benefits. Be specific. Benefits of a separate risk committee. Okay. I will center it and I will bold it. And then the speaker notes we will fill later on. Slide number 2, what will be the heading? Challenges of having a separate risk committee. I will center it and I will bold it. Done. Slide 1 is the benefits of a separate risk committee and challenges of a separate risk committee. Khalas, as simple as that. So slides are ready. Skeleton is ready. Now, I want you to read the overview so that you can first understand what this company is about. But please ignore this table, huh? It's not relevant. But do read the paragraphs and understand their nature of business. Time starts now. Ah. 20 more seconds. Please type done once you are done. All right. So basically, it's Quality Homes QH is a house building company operating in a developed country of Morlia. It's a very old established company and it is the largest house building company. It builds like large projects. They have two type of houses. They have built and sold the highest number of houses each year for the last decade. Wow. But increasing levels of negative publicity. Oh my God, negative publicity. Oof. And customer complaints have resulted in decline in financial performance over the last 2 years. So I think they are, do you think they are the market leader? Are they the market leader? Absolutely, yes. They have been manufacturing the highest number of houses since last 10 years. So they are clearly the market leader. But what's happening in the last 2 years? Why their financial performance is declining when their revenue growth is there? They are selling the highest numbers. Why the hell their financial performance is going down? Because of negative publicity and customer complaints. Yeah. Is that good or bad? Extremely bad. So that's a serious issue, right? That although they're the market leader, they are growing like crazy since last 10 years, but the profits are not there because of negative publicity. So for last 2 years, it's a serious problem, a negative. Okay, got it. Let's close this. Please, can you read the second exhibit? Please read it fully. It's a very interesting exhibit. Once you are done, please type done. Ten more seconds. Okay, so their mission is to build high quality sustainable houses. So they focus on quality, they focus on customer relationships, skilled employees, building quality houses. But more importantly, I'm more interested for this particular question we are doing. Did you understand the board structure? So there's a chairman of the board, there's a CEO, there's a CFO, there's a COO, Then there are non-executive director, 1, 2, and 3. There are 3 executive directors and there are 3 non-executive directors. What is this? The second layer. So this non-executive director is the chairman of the RAM committee. Okay. This non-executive director is the chairman. He's heading the nominations committee. And this NED is heading the audit and risk committee. And the internal audit, they report to the audit and risk committee. Very nice. Done. Okay, got it? Let's move on. Let me. Now go to Exhibit 7, risk management proposal. It's a very specific 1:1 exhibit. Okay, now please read this exhibit very carefully because this is the primary exhibit which we will be using to answer our question, right? Time starts now. Once you're done, please type done. Ten more seconds. Okay. It's a pretty straightforward exhibit. It is first talking about the current risk management structure. So they have a full board, which is overall obviously responsible for everything. And then they have an audit and risk committee, and this shows the TOR. What is TOR? Remember from yesterday, what is TOR? Terms of reference, yes. So what is the job of audit and risk committee? They are doing so many things. They are reviewing the financials, yes, integrity of the financial statements, the external and internal audits, the system of internal controls, identification and management of risks, the company's process for monitoring compliance with the laws, regulations, ethical code of practice. So many things are right now being handled by the poor audit and risk committee. Do you think it makes sense? Tell me, do you think it makes sense to you to separate these two? है ना? Because it's too much tasks, right? The audit and risk committee is responsible for so much thing. Do you think they will be able to focus on all the tasks? Overburdened? Yes, of course they are overburdened. They will not be able to focus when there are so many things to do. They will not be able to focus on all of them, right? What about time? Time? They will struggle with time. They will have to give so much time because they have to cover so much things. So I don't know whether how they are managing, whether they're able to give sufficient time. What about expertise? Yeah, expertise also, because audit, accounting and auditing experience is very different. Risk management is a very different kind of a thing. So there might be some expertise issues. Interesting. So what is the CFO proposing? What is the proposed risk management structure? He's saying the board will be there and he's trying to segregate, separate. He's saying that there should be an audit committee and there should be a risk committee. These should be two separate committees. And the internal audit will report to audit committee, which makes sense to me. Do you like this? Does it make sense to you, this thing? Yeah, I think it's very simple, straightforward, makes sense. And then it says current principal risks. So what are the current risks which they are focusing on? Principal risks means the major risks. So this audit and risk committee currently are focusing on three risks only: national and regional economic conditions, government policy, regulatory compliance. Current risks, current principal risk. And what is the proposed additional principal risk? So that in case they separate the two committees, then these are the additional risks which needs to be focused on, which currently is not happening. Does it make sense? Okay. Right. So going back to the requirement, prepare two presentation slides which explains the benefits and challenges of separating the current audit and risk committee into two separate committees. Let's open up the slide. So what are the benefits? Can you think of any benefits? Recall from yesterday. You agree? If we have a separate risk committee, the risk committee will be more specialized. We will nominate people from risk management backgrounds. It will be more focused because right now the current audit and risk committee is doing so many things. They are not able to focus on all the things. And the committee can spend more time. I can think of one more. What about this? More risks can be covered. Right now, they are just focusing on three principal risks. Agreed? Shareholder confidence. Right now, my friend, the scenario does not provide us any information about shareholders. So please, how will you link with the scenario? Okay. So now can we explain all this? How can we explain more specialized? How can we explain how is more specialized a benefit if we separate? Please link with the scenario. Exhibit 7, more specialized. It's very simple. Any volunteer who would like to speak, raise your hand. No one? Akshi, unmute.
Yes, sir.
Akshi, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Good. How would you explain this point? What's in your mind? Specialization, more specialization.
Okay. So, with the help of having a separate risk committee, they will be expert in the risk field, wherein they will be able to cover the current principal risk, which is a national, regional economic condition, government policy, regulatory compliance, and also the proposed additional principal risk, which might not be majorly covered by the combined audit and risk committee.
Where have you explained specialization?
I said in they are the expert in the risk and wherein they will be able to cover the different types of risk.
So, okay. So, are you saying that the audit and risk committee might not have the expertise of that level?
Yes.
So can you start with that statement of fact? Always start
Right.
with a statement of fact, right? Remember?
Yes, sir.
We will say that right now the audit and risk committee are looking at both functions. They
Hmm.
might not have the
Appropriate expertise. And that
exact.
is the reason it is advisable to have a separate risk
That's
committee.
how you start. Always
Okay, sir.
start from the scenario, what's currently happening, and then build your argument on top of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. Well done, Akshi. Thank you. Please
Thank you, sir.
draft your benefit of this paragraph specialization on the accompanying notes. Open up your accompanying notes here, the speaker notes, and please type here how you will explain more specialization. Time starts now. No, Sundas. Is that your answer? Please start with the statement of fact. Please start with the current scenario and then build your argument. Two minutes. Once you have typed your answer, please paste it on the chat box. I will go through the first 10 comments. T, your starting is good, but your ending is not good. Why? The word department is not good, and you have not used the word expertise anywhere. Akshi, it's okay, but Alhamdulillah. Very good, Aarti. No, Gilal, no. Okay, I got it. It's okay, Bilal. Sana, is that your answer? That's an incomplete answer. Humayun, it's a bit short. Munib, okay. Good, Ahmed. Good, Abin. Good, Foyez. What are you saying, Ayaz? Why are you talking about codes of corporate governance? Do you know this company is listed or not? You're going in the wrong direction, Ayaz. You're complicating stuff. You are very theoretical and bookish answers. Sunny, bad answer. You are talking about overburden and time, whereas we are talking about specialization here. Overburden and time is another point. Good, Sundas. Good, Usama. Abdul Basit, very short answer, not acceptable. Good, Alexa. Alyssa. Good. Okay. Let me try and draft. Can you guys read, please? Currently, the Audit and Risk Committee is looking after both audit matters and risk management matters. These two are different areas requiring different expertise. In case we separate the risk committee, we can nominate a director with relevant risk management experience, and hence it will bring more specialization. Nobody mentioned this line. We can nominate a relevant director with risk management. Everybody is saying separating the risk committee will bring specialization. Fuck, how? Just separating will bring specialization? No. When you separate, you will have to nominate people with that background. Then you will get specialization, right? You have to explain these things. And why did I use the word we? In case we separate, in case we nominate. Why am I saying we? Because I'm an insider. I'm an employee of the company, right? I'm writing to the CFO. Is this clear? I started with the statement of fact that currently the audit risk committee is looking after both. Then I said that these two are different functions requiring different expertise. And then I said that in case we separate, we can nominate a director with relevant experience. And that will bring specialization. Okay, step by step. Okay, what's the second advantage? More focused. You think if we separate the risk committee, they will be more focused, which means that the current audit and risk committee is less focused. Something like that. You can start by saying there are too many terms of reference or tasks. They might lack focusing on the risk management aspects, and then build your case on that. Please draft. Take your time. Write a thoughtful answer. Let me read. No, Sama. Your statement of fact is not correct. You are saying they're dealing with both audit and risk management. So what? What's the problem? First, identify the problem that they might lack focus. And then you can say, okay? Wait, Ali, that is the challenge. Okay, okay. Very good, Sundas. What are you saying, Minurakon? That's not good. Please keep it simple. Please start from the exhibit. Do not try to be too much creative. Very good, Lakshmi. You are picking up. I'm very happy for you. Good, Tina. I think, yes, I can. No, Usama, don't give reference to your previous point. Good, Akshi. Good, Elisa. Okay, I think this is done nicely. I would just say that currently the scope or the terms of reference of audit and risk committee is quite extensive, and they might not be able to focus a lot on risk management functions. This is a statement of fact. I repeat, currently the scope or the terms of reference of the audit and risk committee is quite significant or comprehensive. There are too many tasks, so they might not be able to focus a lot on risk management. If we separate the risk committee, then the committee will be able to focus specifically on risk management activities. Khalas. Okay, easy. What's the third one? More time can be spent. So again, think about it. How can you start? First, pick up from the scenario, state the problem or the statement of fact or the problem statement, and then show the benefit. Start drafting. Okay, Basit, not help the company, but help the committee. No alog. Where is your problem statement or statement of fact? Sneha, after 2 minutes, okay? Good, Sundas. Very good, Bonita. I like it. No, Priyanka, your statement of fact is incomplete. You are saying they are focused on overall work. So what's wrong in that? So you have to mention that they might not be able to give sufficient time to risk management. You have to explain the problem properly. Okay, Kumar. Okay, Humayun. Okay, Lakshmi. Okay, Munib. Abdullah, your problem statement is incomplete. All right. So I can see that some students are struggling with defining the problem statement or the current statement. I would say that right now the audit and risk committee have a lot of tasks to do. Hence, they might not be able to give sufficient time. This point is about time, right? Time management, and they will be able to give more time. So first you start with negative point by saying that since they are doing so many activities, they might not be able to give sufficient time to risk management functions. And then you will say, By separating the risk committee, the committee will be able to devote more time for risk management activities. They can meet separately and more frequently. Okay, is this clear? Please try to improve your problem statement. You have to give complete problem statement. They might not be able to give sufficient time. Okay. Good. What about this point? More risks can be covered. If you look at the exhibit, right now, these guys are focusing on these three risks only. And then if we separate, they will be able to focus on additional risks. So more risks can be covered. So please start from the statement of fact. What is happening right now? What is the problem statement? Draft it properly on your slide. And then build that, they can cover more risks like blah, blah, blah. And then once you're done, paste it on your chat box. No KA, bad start. Very bad start, KA. What the fuck, man? I'm saying draft the problem statement properly, and yet you are not listening. Please stop. Everybody stop. You guys are idiots, yeah? You don't understand things, or you don't want to learn things. This webinar is not going for your lifetime, right? Please learn and take benefit of it. Your problem statement will be, currently the audit and risk committee is looking at 3 principal risks only. Why can't you start with this simple sentence? What's happening currently? Currently the audit and risk committee is looking at 3 principal risks only, such as 1, 2, and 3. Just mention the names. Please type that first. Everybody is saying currently the committee is not addressing the risk. But first start with the current thing, that what are they doing right now? Please, all of you type again that currently the audit and risk committee is only looking at 3 stupid risks. And name those risks. Not 3 tasks, 3 principal risks. Please use the terminologies in the exhibit. Very bad, Kingsley. You are still not following instructions. Abin, very good, Abin. Please, all of you, look at Abin's draft. Hasibullah, what are the risks they are not focusing on? Please mention those additional risks in your benefits. When the information is available, why are you guys shying away and not trying to score good marks? When you know which additional risks they can focus, mention those names. Tina, not good. You are not mentioning the risks. When the information is there, please use it. We know what are the 3 principal risks they are looking at, and what are the two additional things they can look at? Don't you want to do a nice answer? Where is it mentioned? Humayun is saying 3 main risks as mentioned. Where? Bad answer, Humayun. Akshi, very good answer. You can look at Akshi's answer as well. Basit, good answer. Tanveer, what the hell are you saying? Looking at the mission, is this your statement of fact? Good, Aarti. Manoj, what are the additional risks what more risks they can cover? Please mention that. Simra, you're not mentioning the risks. Good, Ambika, simple and to the point. Acceptable. All right, guys, done. So we came up with 4 benefits. So how many challenges we are supposed to talk about now? We came up with 4. So total we need 5 points. So we were able to identify 4 benefits. That's good. Are you able to notice any challenge? No, Akshi. Yes, Basit. Yes, Munura. Yes, Nina. No, Joanne, you sound like an auditor, segregation of duty. Extra cost, Abin, I will shoot you, man. You're an accountant, bloody accountant. Yes, Arman. Yes, Janaka. Yes, Pinto. No, Abdullah, don't be so philosophical. Synergy is lost, idiot. Yes, Bilal. Yes, Munib. Yes, Aarti. Liana, yes, but be more specific. No, Dixon. What's wrong with the reporting structure? Yes, Osama. Yes, Humayun. Yes, Kumar. Yes, Akbar. Lack of CO info? What is that? No, Resham, that's not true. Yes, KA. No, Alok, it's not complex structures. It's simplifying it. Yes, flax seeds. Yes, Vanisha. Lack of nomination committee? You are crazy, man. So there are 2 possible answers. A general answer would be lack of specialization, so we might struggle to find a person with the right risk management experience, right? So risk management is not a very common field. You can find a lot of accountants and auditors for audit committee. You can find HR people, but risk management is a very specialized area. So one general challenge we always face in forming a risk committee is that we struggle to find people with good risk management experience. So that could be a challenge in recruiting or identifying a director with relevant risk management experience. That's one. Okay. However, Can I take you back to the website? Please open the second exhibit. How many NEDs we have? And how many committees are there right now, currently? So we have 3 NEDs and all of them are leading one of the committees. So if we separate a risk committee, we don't have a NED, right? You remember yesterday I said that all committees will be headed by a NED. So we don't have an extra NED who can look after the risk committee. That is why maybe they have combined the chair, the audit and risk committee, so that only one NED can look at both, because they don't have an extra NED. Got it? Yes, that's a good point, Elisa. The chairperson can look. Okay, that's a good point. But the challenge is there, right? We don't know whether the chairperson has the expertise or experience of risk management. I don't know, but that's a possibility. So now what challenge you think will be there? You can say that, we might need to identify a person with relevant experience of risk management. Also, we don't have sufficient number of NEDs right now. There are only 3 NEDs and they're all looking at one committee each. So we might need to recruit another NED with relevant experience. That could be a challenge. Got it? You understand that we do need an NED to look after risk management committee. The 3 NEDs are already busy with their committees. There is no point in using them for this committee because they're already busy. So we will need to either, find one more NED with relevant experience. That could be challenging, right? So please, can you draft now? But please wait. You should start with the statement of fact. What is the statement of fact here? That right now we have only 3 NEDs and all of them are the chair of committee. That's the starting point. You define the current status state first, right? At the moment, we have only 3 NEDs and all of them are chairing one committee each. And then you start elaborating on the challenge that we might need to recruit one additional NED who should have relevant experience in risk management to be the chairman of the risk committee. Okay, time starts now. Please type it nicely, please, I beg you. Good, Hasibullah. Short, to the point, nicely done. Good, Ambika. Good, Alok. Good, Kumar. Good, Ayaz. Good, Sundas. Good, Sunny. Good, Samir. Good, Munhib. Good, Abdullah. Good, Humayun. Well done. Good, Ikra. Good, Akshi. All right. So I think this one is pretty straightforward. What heading would you give? What have you typed here? What is the heading? Lack of NED. That's the problem, right? We don't have NEDs. So the challenge is lack of NEDs. And then you can explain that currently we have 3 NEDs only, and they are already chairing 3 committees. In case we form a separate risk committee, we do not have any NED to be the chairman of the committee. It will be challenging to recruit NED with risk management experience. Khalas. Okay. No spare NED. No money. Spare NED. It sounds like spare tire. Okay. All right. But it's okay. I understand. So you understand this slides are not difficult. So just to recap, slide 1 has a heading, benefits, and then we gave like 4 bullets, and then we explained those bullets as 4 distinct paragraphs under speaker notes. Slide 2 has a heading. We gave a bullet, and then under speaker notes, we explained this bullet by linking with the scenario. Easy? Yes, chairman, you are right. Chairman is an NED, and he can also become the chairman of risk committee. It's allowed. But sometimes, chairman has overall responsibilities. He has to look at a lot of things, right? And he might not necessarily have the skills as well. Yeah. Yeah, listed company, the chairman can be a chairman of any committee. It's allowed. No issues. Okay, so let me close all this. So guys, did you enjoy this question? Did you learn the technique? Again, I will repeat, it's all about the technique of drafting and linking. Forget about the wordings or the scenario. It will come and goes. Case studies will change. But the approach is that you should always start with the statement of fact or the problem statement, so that you can clearly link with the exhibits and then add a couple of lines on top explaining that. Okay. All right. All right. So can we move on? Before I forget, my drafting and revision classes, the same way we did this question, we will be solving 5 full SBL case studies exactly like this. This is starting from 11th of February. We will be doing it all live classes. It will be 5 case studies, 3 mocks. I will check 1 mock script that's included in the revision batch. And there will be a grand revision 2 days before the paper. That's the investment. And if you're interested in joining, please message this number. So my paid students, you don't have to worry. It's all included in your fees. But if you are a self-study student and you think that this was helpful, then you can most welcome to join my revision batch, which is only focusing on drafting. And this is the schedule of the revision classes, very extensive. Almost every day there will be a live class from 8 p.m. Pakistan time to 11:30 p.m. Pakistan time, right? And these are the contact details, this one. Okay. Now, somebody was trying to ask a question. Let me see, who was that? Somebody was raising hand, right? I forgot the name. If you have any questions, please ask now before I proceed to the next topic. Anyone?
Sir, please share answer of today.
Share what?
Today's answer, sir. Presentation slides, which we
No,
did.
no, I did not do anything. I did not type.
Okay.
You see, I just typed 1 point.
Okay.
Yes, Manoj?
Yes.
Okay, Akbar?
Sir, I want to ask that, as you said, we have to copy all the requirements on a Word file, Word answering sheet. Then how we will be managing the answer? We have to delete those after we commence our answer, or what to do?
No need. No need. No need to delete the requirement. It's okay. It's acceptable.
Okay.
Okay.
So below this requirement, we can write task 1A and proceed with that format as you say.
Yes.
Okay.
Even you don't have to write task 1A because the requirement is already on top. Examiner knows which question.
Okay. Okay. So if you write the requirement and below that we write answer, so it's no need to write.
Perfect.
So, but we need to focus on the professional requirement there because we have not copied that
No,
from the requirement.
don't copy the professional requirement. When we start drafting, you have to go to the task and read the entire requirement again from the background till the professional skills. The
Okay.
copy pasting is only just to know the key topics which you have to look for when you are reading the exhibits.
Understood, sir. Understood. Thank you.
Okay, Ambika.
Hi, sir. I've got 2 questions. One question might be a bit silly, but I got confused when you corrected someone in regards of marking points per mark. Here in our classes, you had mentioned we need to add the professional mark along with the question and then
Yes.
decide the number of points. But
Correct.
you know, in this slide, you've mentioned normal question 2 marks per point, so I got confused there.
So it's 2 marks per point. What's the confusion?
So no, when you say normal question, you mean professional mark plus the normal.
100%. Every
Okay.
time. Always.
Okay. Now, second question is, today you explained the technique of stating the fact and then explaining the scenario. So can we adopt the same principle in almost all the answers?
Almost all the answers, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. If there's no more questions, I will move on. Break, I think no break because it's just like 10-15 more minutes left. Okay. Yes, Talal?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good, dear. Tell me.
Sir, can you explain the most important topics like value chain analysis and marketing mix?
No need.
Okay.
Is irrelevant, small topics.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now I'm now trying to summarize and wrap up SBL for you. Okay. So you right now just have like close to 4 weeks, even I think not even 4 weeks, 3 weeks. So now you guys need to consolidate your knowledge. Do not deviate or expand your knowledge. Try to consolidate it. So this is a list of important models which you should be familiar with. It's PESTEL, Porter 5 and strategic position, SFA framework, SWOT and TOES, corporate parenting and BCG, ANSOF growth matrix, Harmon process strategy matrix, Mandelo stakeholder matrix, cultural web, context of change model, and risk mitigation processes. Okay, these are the 10 models which are basic models which you should be familiar with. Where you can learn all this, you can watch my top 25 important topics video. So I have already made a video with for the important topics, top 25 important topics video. Okay, it's also available in my Google Drive, and it's you have access to that, all of you, even the self-study students. So please, you can revise these models from there. Okay, don't. Then after the models, here is a list of important topics. Okay, important topics. Financial ratios and financial projections. Funding strategies like debt financing versus equity financing. Budgets, project management and project initiation document. Value chain, e-business and e-marketing, big data and CRM, IT and cyber risks, professional code of corporate governance, NEDs, committees, family-owned, integrated reporting, 6 capital, social and environmental footprints, risk management and recommendations, control weakness and recommendations, audit committee and internal audit. Okay, so again, where can you get a quick revision of these topics? Again, my top 25 important topic videos will cover, if not all, but most of these topics. So please revise these top 25 topics through this video so that your knowledge of the important topics is intact. Other than this, forget about everything else because you don't have time. Clear? Now, the quick recap of the exam techniques, you have linking with the exhibit is a must. As I have shouted again and again, start with the statement of fact or the problem statement and then build your answer. That will automatically link. Time management, we just covered all this today. Read 1:1 exhibit first. Number of points we discussed, 2 marks per point, but for weakness and recommendation questions, you have to divide by 4 because these are 2 separate points. And for finance question, give 1 extra point. Paragraph style, leave 1 line between paragraph. Bouncer question, attempt in last, define, search. We just discussed today. You have to be very familiar with these formats like report, section of a report, briefing paper, briefing notes or memo, email, presentation slides, letter, press release, business case, project initiation document, weakness recommendation table, risk mitigation table. Okay, we covered all this yesterday. Recap of professional skills, evaluation skill. Make sure that you include both pros and cons, not necessarily in equal quantity, depending on the information. Analysis, you have to identify or investigate the reasons from the exhibit. Communication focuses on format. Keep in mind the reader and your role, the tone of your drafting. like we or you, all these small things. Commercial acumen, don't sound like an accountant. Don't mention cost first. Use words like customers, revenue, market share, competition, technology, human resource, risk management, all these things. And skepticism, ask couple of questions, try to disagree with something, challenge, probe. All this was covered yesterday by me. Okay. Now, risks of CBE software. So if you're giving the CBE exam, sometimes the software, it malfunctions. Be mentally prepared for possible hiccups on the CBE exam day. Sometimes the software shuts down 15-20 minutes before the time. It just automatically submits your paper before time. So you will not be able to complete the paper, and it just shuts down and submits. Sometimes the copy pasting formatting issues are there. So nothing much can be done about it. Okay, it's a technology handicap. So if you feel that you were disadvantaged in any manner, then please apply for mitigation circumstances. So on your My ACCA platform, there is an option of mitigation circumstances that you can immediately report and mention what the problem was. Okay. And also the format. The actual CBE exam software is slightly different from the CBE practice platform. So this platform which we are using right now is the practice platform, but the actual CBE platform is slightly different, not a lot, slightly different. So the toolbar varies. The way to select text varies. It's simple. You can just go through it, copy pasting into Excel spreadsheet. Well, this is not applicable to us because we will not use Excel. So there's a link here which you can click and understand what are the differences, but nothing to worry about. Just mentally know what's happening so that you don't panic. Don't care, you're not caught by surprise. Now, study plan till the exam. This is very important. And this slide is actually more important for self-study students. Okay. My paid students, doesn't matter because I will be managing all this for you. But this is a slide for self-study. That the first of all, you must watch my top 25 important topic videos. It will give you all the required theoretical knowledge about the top 25 topics, as I mentioned earlier as well. Then please watch the December 2021 webinar by me. Watch March 2022 webinar by me. In these two webinars, I have solved full case studies. One is NABI, one is TT for you. My paid students can also watch these because I will not be solving these case studies in the live classes. So if you want to increase your coverage, you can watch these for NABI and TT for you. And lastly, you can watch my March 2023 webinar for technical articles. Well, the technical articles were covered in December as well, so you can watch that. And then the self-study students, you must practice the following questions on the CBE platform. These are the questions. And you must do at least 3 mocks. Sorry, there's a typo error, 3 mocks, not 2. And these, so one of the latest QH which we did today is the latest paper available. It was recently updated like a month back. Okay. But my paid students, we will be doing all these questions in the live classes. So you don't need to worry. Paid students, I will be covering all these questions in the live classes. So this is only for guide for self-study students who do not plan to join the paid session. Okay. Please, it's very, very important that you stay away from books and revision kits. You don't have time now. And now I think you should realize by now that SBL is not about bookish students. Bookish students will fail. Theoretical students will fail because it's all about applying the case study knowledge, especially the common sense questions, drafting techniques. So don't worry about the books and the kits. Just watch the top 25 important video. Watch my webinars, which I've mentioned on top. And please practice on the CBE platform and do at least 3 time-based mocks. Time-based mocks is very important, where you sit for straight 4 hours, test your stamina, test your temperament, see whether you're able to complete the paper within 4 hours or not. All right. And my last slide, which I had shared yesterday as well, this is the secret of scoring good marks in SBL. All my students who scored 80 marks, they have all mentioned that they applied this mentality in the paper. They think like a CFO and they think that they are talking to the board of directors. If you adopt this mindset when you are looking at the exhibits, you will feel that a difference in your thoughts and approach. So please use this. We talked about the revision classes. So with this, guys, I wish all the best to all of you. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer. Where can we buy the revision course, my friend? This is the number. This number, just WhatsApp on this number, ask for revision course, and they will provide you all the details. Paid sessions is available for my students, yeah, VIFHE students, but if you enroll in the revision batch, then you will just have the live classes going forward. Revision will start on 11th of Feb, next Saturday. Ambika, I've already shared the schedule on the WhatsApp paid groups and the global groups as well. Guys, if my team is not responding, possibly today, yesterday was off, Saturday and Sunday is off. If you don't get a response tomorrow by afternoon, please inform me and I will fire them. The timetable of revision class is absolutely fixed. There is no room for changes because it's all jam-packed. No, I will not conduct the 5-day webinar. This is the only webinar. Tips for self-study student. Usama, I just gave you a full slide for self-study students. Can you share the Google Drive link here? Okay, let me share the Google Drive link here. Wait. So here is the Google Drive link. I will paste it here. And here you go. Okay, the Google Drive link is here on the chat box. Yesterday's recording and today's recording will be available on YouTube, but by Tuesday or Wednesday, because Saturday, Sunday is off, right? For the technical team, they will work on it on Monday, and hopefully by Tuesday it will be on the YouTube. And for my paid batch, I will ask them to upload on your paid portal as well. No, Syed, just stick with the plan. Okay, no extra questions. If the team is not responding, let me know by tomorrow afternoon. I will share this presentation today in all the groups. Alok is just a mindset. Just start feeling like a CFO. Think that it is your own business and automatically you will start thinking like a businessman. Someone has raised hand. Any verbal questions? I saw someone was trying to ask. Yes, Joy, and I was waiting for you. What's up?
I just wanted to find out if we have access to the slides. this one and the one from yesterday?
Yeah, I shared yesterday's slides on the WhatsApp group.
Okay, would you
And
share
today-
this one as well?
I will do it after the class.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Osama, a lot of practice is needed, especially for our mocks, okay? Then I think it's possible. All right, guys, so I hope the webinar was helpful and useful, both for my paid students, because we discussed exam techniques, and for self-study students. And if you have any questions, reach out to me on my WhatsApp. Otherwise, I will see you guys on next Saturday, 8 p.m. with the first full-fledged case study under the revision batch, right? Okay, guys, I wish all of you the very best. Stay in touch. Take care and good night.